This week's TCGplayer Top 10 is a special one. All of the cards in the top 10 are pre-orders from War of the Spark. As such, the reason for them getting into the top 10 isn't based on tournament results or how they performed in videos. These are all here because players expect these cards to make an appearance in the new meta just around the corner. So without further delay, let's dive in. Number 10. Enter the God Eternals. Our number 10 this week, while being a sorcery, is basically a Dimir version of Flametongue Kavu. The spell deals 4 damage to a creature, gains you 4 life, mills 4, and gives you either a 4/4 creature or 4 +1/+1 counters on an army if you already control one. All for 5 mana. While the converted mana cost breaks the flavor a bit, it's easy to see why Wizards couldn't make this cost 4 mana. Zombie strategies may give this a try, and maybe even a blue-black control build can make use of it. But be warned, a card like this is a serious liability in a control mirror since it won't have any creatures to target. At least you can still discard it to jumpstart Chemisters in sight. Number 9. Cruel Celebrant. Aristocrats gets a new version of Zulapart Cutthroat with Cruel Celebrant. If you played Standard during Zulapart Cutthroat's heyday, you remember just how strong that 1/1 creature was. Cruel Celebrant tacks on an additional point of toughness and another card type to drain your opponents with. In addition to Standard, Taste of Commander players will likely enjoy another drain effect that triggers on token deaths. Number 8. Saheeli, Sublime Artificer. Saheeli is one of the best uncommon planeswalkers in War of the Spark. Saheeli's static ability is reminiscent of Monastery Mentor. The flexible mana cost makes it easy to play on curve, and the minus ability is incredibly strong. This feels a lot like a piece of a Cheerios deck. The static ability pumps out artifact creatures as an alternative win condition, and the minus ability can copy whatever creature-based draw engine you're playing to double your odds of drawing your win condition. Number 7. Tomik, Distinguished Advocist. Ever since Persistent Petitioners came out, any card with the subtype Advisor has been drawing interest. So it's possible that Persistent Petitioners has had an impact on Tomik's sales. Tomik has a lot of benefits on his own in Commander as well. His abilities disrupt some popular land-based Commander decks like Gitrog Monster, Azusa, and Lord Windgrace. As your Commander, Tomik can get in early Commander damage starting as early as turn 2. While Tomik might not look like an aggro Commander right off the bat, I think he could play a similar role as Isamaru while his abilities act as just a bonus. Number 6. Commence the Endgame. If Torrential Gearhulk and Glimmer of Genius were smashed together, you'd get something pretty close to commence the endgame. This card has a lot of potential in Standard. Being an instant draw spell, you can play it on your opponent's end step. But when you add in the XX token or the X +1/+1 counters, it opens up your options significantly. Need a blocker? You've got one. Trying to end the game quickly? Cast before damage to buff your army by your hand size. No doubt the versatility of this card is what pushed it into the number 6 slot. Number 5. Blast Zone. Where to begin with Blast Zone? The hype for this card blankets almost all formats. I'm honestly surprised it's not higher on the list. Blast Zone is a threat even with 0 counters on it. If your opponent's army gets too big to deal with, crack Blast Zone and it's gone. Just like that. No spell to counter and no damage to prevent. In Modern, Tron can throw one in the main deck and search it up with Expedition Map, Sylvan Scrying, or Ancient Stirrings. In Commander, this is an easier to tutor Ratchet Bomb. That's also easier to get back from the graveyard. Number 4. Karn's Bastion. I talked about this one a few weeks ago and it's still holding strong in our top 10. Proliferate is a powerful mechanic, and I think it'll be a fun mechanic to play and play around. I know Super Friends Commander players will be trying to find a spot for this in their 99. Number 3. Ashiok, Dreamrender. This is another card getting hype from multiple formats. Modern especially has been keeping graveyard removal in mind due to the increase in Dredge and other graveyard-based decks. Ashiok's -1 ability not only mills 4, it also exiles everything in the graveyard at that point. This actually gets around the Eldrazi's shuffle triggers as the mill and exile are within the same ability, so the cards are exiled before the shuffle ability can resolve. Ashiok's static ability may be even more relevant to Modern than its -1 ability, as it shuts down all search effects that your opponent controls. Fetch lands and Expedition Map are shut down as long as Ashiok remains on the battlefield, which may be a while since Ashiok starts at 5 loyalty. Number 2. Solar Blaze. Boros now has its own 4 mana board wipe. It may not be a Day of Judgment, but if you build around it well enough, it can sometimes be even better. A lot of people are skeptical of Solar Blaze because it'll never kill a Wild Growth Walker. But reaching number 2 this week makes me think enough of you see potential in this card in the upcoming meta. Don't forget to check your opponent's creature's abilities before casting this though. If they have Death Touch, great! The creature will kill themselves even with a higher toughness. But if they have Lifelink or another damage trigger, make sure you don't accidentally play yourself. Number 1. Kasmina, Enigmatic Mentor. The moment I saw this card, it became one of my favorite planeswalkers, and clearly, I was not alone. Monastery Siege from Fate Reforged was a great standard card, but so many times I wished I could just have both abilities. Well, Wizards has granted that wish with Kasmina. Kasmina actually protects herself twice over. Her -2 creates a 2/2 wizard token and loots, giving you a blocker, while her static ability makes every spell targeting her and other creatures and planeswalkers you control cost 2 more. Both Commander and Standard sales should be pushing this one. Super Friends decks like Atraxa will include Kasmina, and the zombie decks could probably put those wizard tokens to good use while sitting relatively safely under that umbrella effect. And that's it for this week's Top 10. Pre-release is this weekend, and I'm excited to see how the Top 10 changes once everyone's had a chance to test out the new cards. Have you started brewing with War of the Spark yet? Let me know what you've come up with in the comments, then like and subscribe to keep up with future Top 10s.